Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's U.S. End of Week Deep Dive, covering market moves in indexes, sectors, stocks, and global markets. The week ending Friday, May 29, 2026, brought significant changes across the financial landscape. Kicking things off, I'm Max Profit. Key indexes showed robust positive trends this week. The S&P 500 index closed at 7,580.5, rising by 106.57 points. The Dow 30 index followed suit with an increase of 452.75 points, reaching 51,032.46. Nasdaq Composite Index recorded a significant gain of 628.65 points, closing at 26,972.62, while the Russell 2000 Index also hit new heights at 2,919.34. Market breadth analysis reveals a generally positive momentum, with more advances than declines. The Nasdaq Composite Index led with 1,702 advances against 1,222 declines. However, the S&P 400 Mid-Cap Index had a slightly lower number of advances. The strength in the S&P 500 Index was mirrored by a one-week advance of 245 stocks. Focusing on total and daily returns, indices displayed strong weekly performance. The Nasdaq Composite Index led with a weekly total return of 2.39%. Month-to-date shows continued strength, with the S&P 500 Index boasting a solid return of 5.15%. Such momentum underscores a period of robust market activity. Assessing total and annual returns, the Nasdaq Composite Index recorded an impressive 40.66% return over the past year. The Russell 2000 Index showcased resilience with a 40.71% annual return. These figures highlight the dramatic growth over extended periods, boosting investor confidence in these markets.
Checking out best and worst performing equities, I'm Penny Stock. Astrotech is shining brightly, closing at 49.80 with a stellar gain of 47.52, marking a 2,084% increase. It recorded a new one-year higher close, maintaining a very strong positive trend. VCI Global follows with a close of 8.47, a 7.14 rise, though its trend remains mixed. Net Class Technology grew to 0.99, a 0.72 increase, currently with a mixed positive trend. Performance highlights continue with notable returns. Astrotech stands out with a 20.84% total return for the week, and its trend is soaring. Meanwhile, VCI Global recorded a solid weekly total return of 5.37%, but its 135-day flat trend shows limitations. J-Star Holding shows strong volatility with a gain to 1.37, reflecting a notable week. On the annual performance, Astrotech has excelled with a 748.38% one-year return, even while longer timeframes showed some loss. VCI Global and Net Class Technology experienced downturns annually, signaling a challenging market. J-Star Holding hints at a strong recovery journey with fresh price gains. Among the big caps, Dell Technologies hit a new all-time high at 420.91, up 125.72, confirming a very strong trend. Micron Technology also rose impressively, with its price up by 220 to 971, achieving a fresh peak and maintaining upward volatility. Tracking the returns, Dell Technologies sees a 42.59% one-week total return. However, Supermicro Computer and Best Buy both present strong positive trends despite smaller total returns of 29.54% and 26.48% respectively. The fascination continues with new highs. Looking at extensive timeframes, Dell Technologies reports a 270.42% one-year total return, while supermicrocomputer shines over 10 years with a return over 1,665.9%. For performance enthusiasts, Micron Technology stands out with impressive long-term returns, elevating investor confidence. Diving into the laggards, DIH Holdings closed notably low, evident with a flat trend over 85 days. Zhongchao hit a new all-time low at 0.17 after closing down for 4 weeks, illustrating a very strong negative trend. ADXT suffers similarly, dropping to 0.12 with downward momentum. Returns for the weakest stocks depict a sharp decline, with DIH Holdings plummeting by 95% weekly. SU Group faces consistent downturns, emphasizing a very strong negative trend over weeks. Vera Mobility stood out with a 66.5% drop, signaling further declines. This week, some U.S. stocks faced sharp declines. DIH Holdings U.S. Incares Class A ended flat after continuing a strong negative trend, marking significant losses. Zhongchao closed at 0.17, plummeting 88.3% while hitting a new all-time low. ADXT also hit an all-time low of 0.12, dropping 77.2%. Big cap stocks showed significant setbacks. Boston Scientific reported a 16.3% fall, closing at 48.31 with a new one-year low. This strong negative trend persists. AutoZone shares declined to 2,935.19, a notable drop of 13.8%, marking another one-year low. Rollins similarly dipped 10.9%. Focusing on total and daily returns, Boston Scientific struggled, with the week showing a total return of -16.39%. AutoZone posted a 13.84% weekly loss. Rollins closed down with a total return of -10.96%, highlighting strong negative trends for each. Long-term performance reveals mixed results. Boston Scientific and AutoZone show substantial declines over 1 year, with returns of -53.77% and -20.45% respectively. Yet, across a decade, AutoZone showed a positive ARR of 14.37%.
And now on to U.S. sector performance. The technology sector led with a close at 7,021.76, adding 306.43, marking a strong 4.5% rise. It notched a new all-time high and maintained an upward trajectory for 9 consecutive weeks. This demonstrates a very strong positive trend. The technology sector showed a robust advance with 437 stocks advancing against 214, declining over 1 day. Similarly, on the weekly level, 445 advanced against 206 declined, indicating strong sector momentum and confirming its positive trend over recent weeks. For the technology sector, the 1-week total return was 4.56%, with an average daily return of 1.13%. Month to date, it added a solid 15.91%, and year-to-date gains stand at 23.54%, showcasing its impressive performance over various periods. The technology sector posted remarkable 10-year annual returns of 25.35%, underscoring its long-term growth potential and stability. This sector remains a bastion of strength with a strong upward trajectory, recently achieving an all-time higher close.
This week, leading tech stocks show an impressive performance. Dell Technologies closed at 420.91, skyrocketing by 42.5% and marking a new all-time high. It's closing up for 2 consecutive weeks with a very strong positive trend. Supermicrocomputer rose 29.5% to end at 46.9, also maintaining a strong positive trend. Micron Technology saw an increase of 29.2%, closing at 971 and hit a new all-time high. NetApp climbed 25% to 174.29, closing higher for 7 weeks straight. ServiceNow ended at 124.37, rising by 21.7% with a mixed positive trend. Dell Technologies' one-week return reached 42.5%, with an average daily return of 10.01%, showing significant gains. Supermicrocomputer noted a solid 29.5% rise over the week. Micron Technology maintained sharp volatility with a strong trend, achieving an impressive weekly boost of 29.2%. NetApp managed a 25% hike, showcasing remarkable consistency. ServiceNow showed a positive weekly gain of 21.7%, though its overall year dynamics reflect a downturn. In terms of long-term returns, Dell Technologies boasts a compelling 3-year ARR of 105.35%, indicating robust growth. Meanwhile, Supermicrocomputer's 10-year ARR of 33.25% shows significant progression. Micron Technology continues its momentum with a remarkable 547.55% increase over 10 years. NetApp also presented noteworthy returns, accumulating to a 21.28% ARR across the decade. ServiceNow remains on a positive slope with a 24.27% ARR over 10 years.
The energy sector ended the week at 854.92, down 49.9 points, marking a 5.4% drop. It's closed down for 2 consecutive weeks with a mixed positive trend. The consumer defensive sector also declined, closing at 921.48, losing 30.85 points or 3.2%, continuing its downward trend over 2 weeks. The energy sector showed significant declines with 134 weekly declines against 11 advances, reflecting a mixed positive trend. The consumer defensive sector also leaned negatively, recording more weekly declines than advances at 103 to 82, maintaining its negative trend. Over the last week, the energy sector saw a 5.43% total return loss, while its month-to-date return fell 6.08%. Despite this, its year-to-date performance remains up by 24.38%. Similarly, the consumer defensive sector experienced a weekly decline of 3.24%. The energy sector's 10-year annual rate of return stands at 5.52%, despite recent setbacks. On the other hand, the consumer defensive sector has seen a weaker long-term growth rate, with a 10-year annual return of 5.45%, struggling against its recent downtrend.
In U.S. energy stocks, all key players closed lower this week. ONEOK ended at 83.94, a drop of 10.9, following a mixed positive trend. Williams Companies saw a similar decline, closing at 71.39, while Kinder Morgan landed at 31.8. Targa Resources hit a new high last week, but now closed at 255.7. A deeper look into returns reveals short-term losses across the board. ONEOK reported a one-week return of negative 10.7%. Similarly, Williams Companies saw a 9% decrease. Longer-term numbers tell a different story, with Targa Resources maintaining a noteworthy 38.2% year-to-date return despite the recent dip. Despite recent dips, the long-term growth for these stocks is telling. Targa Resources impressively holds a 10-year ARR of 19.5%. Williams Companies leads with an ARR of 12.8% over a decade. Meanwhile, Halliburton reflects slight losses with negative returns annually over 10 years.
Thanks for watching. I'm Max Profit, along with my AI co-host, Penny Stock. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated, and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency, and commodities. Thanks for watching.